Good afternoon, ladies. First of all, it's a privilege to be here with you all. I'm so proud of you. Like, it takes a lot of courage to do the things that is required to literally become an unstoppable woman. And I'm not going to take a whole lot of time because my keynote is way longer than 8 minutes. But what I am going to tell you is that there's power in your decision. And the fact that you made the decision to come here today shows that you are courageous. And I want to just walk you through just a couple of things that I literally had to implement in my life in order to become an unstoppable woman. First, it was to get real clear. In other words, I was that 4-year-old girl sitting on the floor hearing those words, I never wanted kids anyway. And as a result of that, it caused me to be exceptionally ambitious, not necessarily for the right reasons, but because there was this hole in my heart that I was seeking to fill. And as a result of that, I became an overdoer and an overachiever, you know, kind of that over, that person that was doing all of these things and then mad because nobody was recognizing you for doing what nobody asked you to do in the first place. That girl, do you know that girl? Yeah, that was me. But the reality of it is, when I really came to realize that in spite of the fact that I had climbed the corporate ladder very quickly, that I achieved the 6+ figure salary, that I had married the man that I'd eyed on, and he was that fine man, you know, that was like, oh yeah, that guy, kind of cute and handsome like the guy I'm with today. But the reality of it is that, you know, that ended 3 kids later. And what I recognize is that through all of the climbing, through all of the doing, through all of the becoming, that I literally was dying on the inside, as someone had said earlier. I literally did not have alignment because I was holding on to things from the past. You know, I was anchored in heartache. I was anchored in opinions of others. I was anchored in maybe not being good enough. I was anchored in perhaps fear. Regardless of what it was driving me. And on the outside, it looked amazing. But what matters is, was there a reconciliation between the outside and the inside? And so what I want to encourage any of you today that may be navigating through your journey to the top, whatever that looks like. And personally, it's not about the titles, it's not about the money, and it's not about the things. It's about the alignment of living your life tied to the destiny that you want to achieve, the experience you want to have, the legacy you want to leave, and the story you want other people to tell. And that's the life that I live today. But in order to do that, the first thing I had to do was I needed to release. In other words, I needed to release what I thought other people thought about me. I needed to release somebody else trying to validate my self-worth. I needed to release the things that somebody had said about me that I was carrying into my future, into my relationships, on my jobs. I needed to literally release. And to release is something that is incredible. It's not easy, but it's a decision. You see, when you want to live the life that you were destined to live, you've got to wake up every day focused on what's the decision that I'm going to make in alignment with my becoming. You see, the becoming doesn't happen in the moment. It happens every single day as you make the decision to do the things that you were called to do, not necessarily the things that are easy. I was telling a client the other day, she said, you know, you make that look so easy. I said, baby, looks can be deceiving. Because when I step on the stage and people are looking at me, I'm feeling like, ooh, Mufasa. It's hard. To do and be exactly who it is that you're called to do and be is hard. It's hard to do great. It's hard to make decisions. It's hard to release, but the choice is yours. So what I want to encourage you to do is to think about, what is it that I'm holding on to? Is it perhaps the opinion of others? Is it perhaps the unforgiveness? Is it perhaps maybe not being what you think somebody else wants you to be? Is it perhaps what you see on social media and trying to compare yourself to somebody else? Is it perhaps what somebody else is doing compared to what you're doing? Is it perhaps not meeting the expectations of others? Is it the overthinking and the overdoing, the over? That's overanalyzing, as we talked about earlier. So the choice to release is yours. And I encourage you every single morning when you wake up to make the decision that today I will release. But you know, it doesn't just stop there. Not only do you have to make that decision every single day, but then you have to decide that you're going to let it go. You see, a lot of times we release things and then we pick it back up. How about you start your day off saying today is going to be amazing, and then the minute that a freight train comes through your life, you're devastated. But what if you made the decision that in spite of what might be going on in your life today, that you're just going to let it go? Because if it's disaligned with the life that I'm living, and the life that I live is one that's amazing, I'm not holding on to anything that's disaligned. In other words, whether it's a relationship and someone is not treating me the way that I feel I need to be treated, the idea that you're going to waste time trying to convince somebody to be and show up the way that you need them to be and show up is a waste of energy. What if you just let it go? What if you decided that when you wake up every day, you're going to look yourself in the mirror and say, I am enough? Why? Because I am. Not because I was the 4-year-old child on the floor that somebody said they didn't want kids anyway. The very same person who's my biggest cheerleader now, my best friend, my mom, and someone who I love and adore. What if I decided to let go of the things that were hindering me in my past? What if I decided that not only am I going to say I'm releasing it, but I'm going to pull up that anchor and I'm going to soar forward? You see, we talk about moving forward as if it's not possible, but it starts with a decision. And when you make the decision to release, when you make the decision to let go, you also have to give yourself the time required to take pause. You see, that little girl who grew up to be exceptionally successful, who had the kids, the material things, the accolades, the awards, and all of the things that the world says is so amazing, is nothing like the badass standing before you today. Because this unstoppable woman here is a woman of power. This is a woman who has, as Catherine was saying, powerful presence. When I step into a space, baby, I'm like a magnet. I move rooms and attract things at the same time. And that's because every day it's a choice. It's a choice to be who it is that you're called to be. It's not because it's easy. It's not because there's not fear. It's not because you're not afraid of the judgment. It's because you choose every day to be exactly who it is that you're called to be. So what I want to encourage you guys to think about this afternoon, as you've taken the time to come from all over the world, is who are you? Who are you becoming? Who do you want to be? And what is stopping you? There is nothing that you are not capable of becoming if you just exercise the power of decision. And when you release, you let go, and you reset, baby, you will be unstoppable. Have an amazing afternoon.